Hello, everybody, and this is Stacey from The Advisor. A huge thank you to our sponsor. Before we begin, is Dr. Bradley Nelson, the New York Times bestselling author of The Emotional Code and The Body Code. His work is truly transformational, and he's transformed many lives, and we're very grateful for his support. And if you'd like to learn more, feel free to contact us afterwards. Now, today I'm thrilled because we have two amazing individuals today on the show. We have Nate and Jamaila. And they're here today to share an amazing transformation that they help provide in individuals. Now, Nate, can you tell everybody a little about yourself and what you do?
Absolutely. And Stacey, thanks so much for having me on. Everybody out there, hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good now to you. So, my name's Nate Zeleznick, and for the past 26 years, I have been honored to be one of only two American masters stewarding an ancient royal energy and martial arts lineage from a royal family in the Far East, specifically in Indonesia. And in 1999, I became the very first non-Indonesian person allowed to learn this, even though it's used by every branch of their military and over 1 million people had been trained at that point. They had never let outsiders learn it. And so I'm so happy and honored and blessed to have been able to help bring this to the United States and to the West in general, northern and southern hemispheres. Now, this is a very unique form of breath work and meditation. Human potential development is really what this is. And so I am now, after 20 years of owning one of the largest martial arts and meditation academies in the United States, I've now created a system called the Integrated Ascension Method, or the IM for short, which takes this extremely powerful and effective breath work and human potential system and combines it with modern technology in a way that no one else has ever done. No one else still has even attempted. And most recently, I have been, well, on March 3rd of this year, I was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor right on my brain stem where they can't get to it. And so this has given me a great opportunity to step into holistic healing. And how can I turn this from a not just a lesson, but into a blessing and a lesson. And that's what I've really done to the point where in using some of the amazing technologies and supplementation and biohacking, and one thing in particular, two actually, one which we'll talk about today a little bit later, and the next one will be our next episode. I'm really happy to report that the tumor has gone down by half in size.
Wow, that's
And
amazing.
yeah, this is a rock. It's not a jello type of tumor. It's like a stone. So it went from a big rock to basically a jelly bean, like
Oh,
a jelly
wow.
belly size. And it keeps getting better and better. And so now, with my soul partner, Jamaia here, we are creating and have created an amazing program that is truly going to revolutionize the treatment of chronic diseases and help people really come back to their center in a way that's not just a physical healing, but also emotional, spiritual, energetic, and mental as well. And it's called Ascended Living. And this program is truly unique. And I'm so happy to honored to be here. And I'll give Jemiah a chance to introduce herself. And wow, just I'm honored to wake up every single day and be here with all of you. And now that I have more tools and we have more tools to help people, we're here to help.
That is truly amazing. It just takes my heart away when you talk, and everything you've gone through and how you kept moving along. And now, you've created, this way of living, holistically that has had such an impact on your health and can have such an impact on others is truly amazing. I'm just breathless. Now, Jemiah, can you please tell us a little about yourself and what you do also?
Yes, of course. So, first of all, it's an honor to be here with you all. Thank you so much for having us here today, Stacey. So, my name is Jamaia van der Belt, and for most of my life, I've dealt with a lot of different health issues that doctors couldn't help me with. And at the age of 14, my health really went down a lot and I started dealing with chronic fatigue. And I would wake up daily with the feeling that I had no muscle or bone in my body. And while my friends would be out partying and socializing, I literally had to get some extra sleep. And it was hugely impacting my life up to the point where I couldn't even go to school anymore. Doctors tried to find the root cause of what was going on, but they couldn't find anything. And basically, they told me it was in my head and that I was depressed, which I knew wasn't the case. I just knew that I had always had this positive outlook on life,
Mm.
and I just didn't feel like myself, and something was off. So I kept on searching for different ways. And I came across a therapist that basically told me to take supplements for the rest of my life. And they were incredibly expensive.
Mm.
Um, and I kept on searching for something that would truly work. And one day I came across a treatment which literally works with the center of our whole energy system. And this center can shift. And when that shift, it can have a massive impact on every level of our being, mentally, physically, emotionally, and energetically. And when I had this treatment, literally within seconds, I could feel my whole life shift. And after 3 days, all of my energy returned and I could get rid of all the supplements.
Wow.
So when I experienced that, I really felt that everybody just had to know about this because it would have saved me 6 years of suffering,
Mhm.
6 years of my life. That could have been so different if I would have known about this treatment earlier. So I basically started learning from the therapist how to do this and started treating people worldwide. And I saw so many miraculous healings happen. People that were dealing for 33 years with addiction tried everything to get rid of it. And after one session, effortlessly, the addiction disappeared.
Mhm.
Other people dealing with severe depression that tried everything, that had one session and the depression completely disappeared. So after this, I started to continue learning from shamans and truly master shamans across the globe. And
Mhm.
I have combined the things that were most profound to me to combine it all into one system that just helps people reset and align their whole system within seconds. And
Wow.
that's what I've been doing for the last 14 years.
That is truly amazing. Now, can
Mm,
you share with us a little bit how it works and who it's good for?
definitely. So the center point will share with you an image of the earth. Can you share that?
Sure.
Yeah. So every living system, including the earth, has an electromagnetic field. And the
Mhm.
electromagnetic field goes inside the north and the south pole of the earth. Now, we human beings have also an energy field, which is supposed to go inside our chest and comes out at the back. And this point is responsible for the right amount of energy distribution throughout our whole body.
Mhm.
So it literally impacts how we feel, how we think, how we behave, how we connect to ourselves and others, and how we experience life. And it directly influences our mental, emotional, and physical well-being. That's why the center point is really the foundation for optimal health and well-being. So the center point can shift through an accident
Hmm.
to a severe emotional experience, or what many people call trauma,
Right.
through and through alcohol and drugs use, and really high levels of stress. And when the point shifts upward, usually people experience excessive mental energy. So a lot of overthinking, stress, anxiety, and they basically don't feel very connected to their bodies.
Right.
When the point shifts lower, a lot of people start experiencing depression,
Hmm.
chronic fatigue. They can deal with anger, deep sadness. And people can really try so many different therapies. But if the location of the center point is influencing how we feel and creating the sense of depression, for example, then
Hmm.
we can try so many different things, but it just doesn't work because you don't solve the root cause of the issue. That's why
Hmm.
many people experience such a quick and rapid shift once you align the center point.
Wow. Now, this can also help with different things like brain fog and emotional spirals also, couldn't it?
Definitely. Yes. Absolutely. Like we, yesterday, I even gave a treatment and this person was experiencing brain fog. And after seconds of this treatment, he mentioned that his brain felt more clear because it can have to do with the locations of this point, which can create that the energy to our brain doesn't flow in an optimal way, which can really affect the clarity of our mind.
Right. That's amazing. I've also heard that it could also help with trauma and toxins in the body and, EMFs and also posture and breathing habits. Is that true also?
Yes, that's true. It's beautiful because very often right after the treatment, you actually see the facial expression change. You just see the light in people's eyes coming back. It's like the life force energy can just flow in a most optimal way.
Yeah,
Sometimes people sweating right away, but most people experience a direct effect. Yes.
that's amazing. It's like a total reset of your body.
Yes, it
It's
is.
really amazing. Now, walk us through the process of the center point reset. So, what are the core steps and how are they established correctly?
Hmm. So what I do with people is I first scan the front of the body to see where the point or points are located. And then
Hmm.
because it's always going in a straight line through the body, then I scan the back of the body to see where the points are located there. And you see often that when it's located, for example, on the shoulder blade or in the neck, it can really create a lot of tension or even neck and shoulder pain. So, very often after the shift, people really feel the tension dropping. So,
Wow.
what I do is when I found the points, I will share with people a bit of what the impact of this location could have been for them.
Mhm.
And most people feel very deeply seen at that moment because very often it explains exactly how they have been feeling for sometimes their whole life or
Yeah.
at least a very long part of their life. So then when I found those points, I will shift them through a specific energetic technique
Yeah.
that I have combined with a lot of other energy methods that I've learned over the years that were just most profound to me to gently create this shift in the system
Mhm.
and really align people deeply with their true essence.
Oh, I love that. That's exciting. That is amazing. So many people go through with all these types of different emotions and health problems. And so many people don't realize that there are so many natural solutions and there are so many things that are out there, like resetting your center point, that could have such an impact on their health. And I'm a big advocate of trying to do things holistically rather than going to the doctor, getting a prescription, and then getting side effects from that prescription, then getting more medication, say, hey, I feel this way now, and then the doctor gives them another prescription to mask those symptoms. And it just builds and builds. And before you know it, the person is feeling so horrible inside, and then they're incapable of actually functioning to their full potential. So having something like this is such a benefit because you can actually reset your entire body naturally and cleanse out the toxins, cleanse out the illnesses and the symptoms, or at least reduce them to a point where they're feasible so you could actually function and be able to actually live a healthy, happy, and productive life. So that's amazing. That truly is amazing. I love that. Now, how do breath and posture influence the resetting of the center point?
Hmm. So I've noticed that many people, when they have their center point higher, it creates that they can only breathe very high. So usually after a center point reset, their breath just goes deeper down to their belly and they
Wow.
start feeling calmer as an effect of that. So it was interesting because I trained a body worker and he also did body testing on people. So he checked somebody's posture and then did a center point reset and right after checked their posture again. And literally the ailments that he came in with disappeared after just the center point
Wow.
reset.
That's amazing how quickly a positive response can occur. Have you
Yeah.
seen that a lot in a lot of your patients?
Yes, everybody actually. Yeah. Because it is such a quick shift and the energy starts immediately flowing in the most optimal way. So
Yes,
some people experience immediate clarity in their brain, other people experience a sense of deep homecoming within themselves.
right.
But usually people experience a shift right away.
Oh, that's amazing. And when you talk about the breathing and how some people's points of breath kind of raise upward, and then when you get it back to the center point, they have a sense of calmness and they start to feel better immediately. How is the shift? Why does that shift occur? Is it because of everything going on in their lives, the illnesses that they may be going through? What is the cause of why it shifts? Like for example, you mentioned that the one patient you worked on had it over here, and then you got them their breathing back to their center point, and then they felt completely different afterwards.
Mhm. Yeah. So usually shifts happen because in our life we're going through a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And most people, if not everybody, experiences certain situations that can really be emotionally impactful or
Mhm.
very traumatic.
Yeah.
Most people, I'm from Amsterdam, most people there experiment with drugs or drink alcohol,
Mhm.
and drugs can shift the center point and
Yeah.
even split it. So it
Wow.
can really have a big impact on the energy flow in her body
Yes.
and with that, on our whole level of well-being. So
Okay.
shifts can happen through accidents, traumatic experiences, drugs, alcohol, really high levels of radiation, and very high levels of stress can also create a shift.
Wow. Now, what should a beginner focus on first? So if they come to you and they have issues, how do you usually treat a person who has just begun? Is there a difference between someone that has been in treatment for a while versus somebody who is just, coming to you with different ailments that they want to get help for?
No, the process is exactly the same. And maybe, Nate, would you like to share your experience? Because Nate has been an energy master for
Yeah.
26 years.
Yeah. So for myself, I can speak so highly. This is one reason why it's part of our Ascended Living program. So after 26 years and about 38,000 hours of professional training, speaking, teaching, and self-development. I mean,
Mhm.
38,000 hours. Not new to this game. And yet on this beautiful, secluded beach in Tulum, Mexico, Jamaia and I stood there and she did a center point reset on me, which having been around the world, spoken globally, trained with many modern masters, I'd never experienced anything like this. It was totally a new experience for me, which I love because I love to learn.
Yeah.
And when she finished with the center point reset, it was kind of like I'll make the sound, like a pop. I was like, oh my God, this is what it feels like to really be me. It
Yeah.
was seriously that profound. I mean, after how many thousands of hours have I sat in meditation, getting to know myself and go within and seeking enlightenment? And she did this, and she could do it virtually as well. And I've seen it work just as powerfully over Zoom as it does in person.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I could just feel the rush of the energy of the waves and the sound of the birds. And I could feel like the iguana on the beach over. It was like I became truly centered with everything. And I didn't have to try.
Yeah.
I just had to allow. And just like the dentist, if you go there, sure, I guess you could remove your own teeth and do your own fillings. But it's not something we really want to do, and it's important if you want to have it done right to have a true master do it, and they're called a dentist. This is called a center point reset specialist, actually the most advanced one in the world because of her combination of other things together to make it more effective. Very similar to my integrated ascension method, and that's why it's part of our ascended living because it all comes together at once. And I can't say enough good about this that I think one of Jemiah's testimonials was this should be as common as going to the dentist. And
Yeah.
it's true. I really believe that if everyone had the opportunity to experience this, they would really enjoy their life a lot more from a perspective that a lot of the time they don't either remember having had or have never experienced before. It was that profound for me.
Wow. Now, is there a quick way that someone could self-check to know that something is off in their body and be able to do a 60 or 120 second small procedure on themselves, or do they have to go to someone immediately that is a professional?
Unfortunately, people can't do this on themselves yet.
Mm.
I'm working on creating a meditation that is highly infused with intention and energy work to support people with that. At
Yeah.
this moment, we're still in a trial phase with amazing results, but not ready to publish it yet. So
Right.
at this moment, it is necessary to see someone else. Even I need to get support with that too. So the fastest way is if people are interested in a reset, they can just schedule a session with me, and within 45 minutes, they can be fully aligned and really experience the benefits of it.
I love that. I love that. Because there are some treatments, like not yours particularly, but there are some treatments where people can do a little self-healing on themselves. So that's what I wanted to ask, because I know, so many people love to do like home remedies. They want the quick fix, that's how our society is now. So I was just curious to let the listeners know that they have to go to a professional to really get the full effect, and to be able to get a positive effect, they have to go to someone like Jamaia to be able to have this done correctly. And I thank you so much for all the time that you put into this. It's amazing. Now you've lived in this. How did restoring your center point support you through, your brain tumor, Nate, and also, your journey, your physical, emotional, and spiritual journey?
This being the third of six in the Ascend series. So we've
Hmm.
done awareness and mindset, we've done source through breath. This is C for center point reset. When you're facing a life-threatening diagnosis or a serious illness or a diagnosis of any kind that you don't really like, that you don't want and prefer,
Yeah.
one of the most important things that we can do is be able to manage our stress and our emotions and our nervous system,
Yes.
because the hormones of stress can cause many diseases. In fact, the CDC website says over 90% of all diseases are caused by stress. So
Yes.
with that in mind, with the center point reset, I have a whole, I will say it's a quiver, like an arrow, the quiver for bow and arrow. There's a bunch of arrows, and so I have new frequency medicines. I have supplementation, biohacking, awareness, mindset, breath work, meditation, all these different things. And I can tell you this, that if you continue to operate where your center point is out of alignment, imagine you're driving a car and three of the wheels have super low pressure. Maybe not totally flat, but thump, 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 thump. And all you
Yeah.
have to do is pump the tires, and then you can actually use all the other things. And for me, it's been absolutely crucial and instrumental to have my center point in the right spot for my heart, for
Yeah.
my mentality, for the energy flow in my body, to let the supplements, to let the frequency medicine, to let the meditation, let the energy work, let the breath work, let all these things actually work.
Yes.
Imagine this. You take the poles of the earth and shift it by 40 degrees, all of a sudden, you're going to have tsunamis, earthquakes, the polar ice caps are going to melt, the sea currents are going to change, everything's going to be messed up. And a
Yeah.
lot of people don't realize that their globe is messed up. They've just been used to doing that for so long. And then once it gets set back into where it's supposed to be, and the poles are there, the electromagnetic field is there, then rebuilding can actually take place. So for me, the number one thing I would do and did, one of the first things I did in my own healing journey is to have my center point reset with Jamaia.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Now, when it comes to for high achievers who push, their synthetic go mode, how does, resetting your center point rebalance the automatic nervous system without losing edge?
So usually when people are in high achievers mode, the center point reset can really be higher, which
Yeah.
is creating more anxiety, more stress in the system, and more energy that goes to the brain, creating overthinking. So I've
Yeah.
treated someone that really was a high achiever. He had a very demanding job and he had really trouble sleeping because he
Yeah.
was always thinking about work. And the moment that we reset his center point, he said that his sleep quality just improved so much. He was
Mm.
finally able to actually relax and feel centered. So I think especially for high achievers, it is really important that you feel centered and grounded within yourself so you can make decisions that come from the right place and really feel good within yourself as
Hmm.
you are really working on important things usually.
I love that. Now, for people who are skeptics, because I've talked to many people and they don't realize the power of energy. They don't realize that the world, if we didn't have energy, we wouldn't have the world. If we didn't have energy, we wouldn't be here. Energy is such an important factor and it plays such an important role in our lives, in all areas of our lives. And for people who are skeptics that don't understand fully how this works, can explain and clarify the importance of why resetting your center point is such an important impact, and make them understand in a clearer perspective why aligning our bodies, why aligning our energy, why releasing trapped emotions, why all these things play such an important role. Because a lot of times people, if they don't see it, they don't believe it. You get those type of people. I come across them many times. And so how do what do you have to say to those people so they understand a little bit better?
Well, to be honest, I was very skeptical when I had this treatment for the first time. I was very skeptical. But sometimes you reach a point in life where you're just so desperate for change and
Yeah.
you just feel that something is not right
Hmm.
and you just want to feel better.
Yeah.
And I decided to just give this a try. I was spending a lot of money on treatments, on supplements, that I became dependent on that,
Yeah.
which I think nobody wants.
Hmm.
So I tried it even while I was skeptical about it. But the
Hmm.
thing is, it doesn't matter if you believe on it in it or not. We can believe in an electromagnetic field and in the North and South Pole or not, it's still there. It's having an
Yeah.
impact on the Earth. And
Yes.
it's the same with the center point. I have treated a lot of people that were very skeptical. And I have seen people releasing 33-year-long addiction after
Mhm.
one treatment. He was very skeptical. He
Yeah.
was just open to trying something new, which in
Right.
the end changed his life completely. So
Wow.
I would just invite people to open your mind. And if you really want change and are open for a new experience, to just try it and see what it does. One of the people I treated that was very skeptical, he didn't believe in energy or a soul or anything.
Yeah.
And right after the session, he said, wow, I actually start to believe in that we have a soul now. And
That's
and that
really amazing.
yes, that's exactly what I feel with the center point reset. It is like it is connecting us deeply with our true essence. So
Hmm.
people often report that very often for the first time ever, they finally start to feel home within themselves.
Yeah. Wow. Now, I know we can't go through the whole procedure. We talked about it in the beginning, but for people who have never done this before, can you just give them a couple of steps of what you do, to get to the point where you've been able to reset their center point?
Yeah, so they can share a bit with me where they're at, what are they experiencing at this moment in their life. That can be chronic illness, that can be any physical, mental, emotional, or even energetic ailments. And then I will track where their center point is located first
Mhm.
on the front of their body and then the back of their body. So
Mhm.
while I do that, they can just sit comfortably on a chair and just breathe in slowly while I track their energy field. Once I found the location, I will share with them what the impact of this location could have been for
Mhm.
them. Most people really resonate with what I share on a very deep level.
Mhm.
I always tell them that was up till now, and this is the moment we're going to change and shift that. So you
Uh,
can truly consciously let that go and open yourself for a new experience. Then I shift the locations of the center point to the most optimal location for them.
mhm.
And when that happens, usually you immediately see that people, their life force energy is returning. So sometimes people start sweating immediately, or they become more clear in their minds. Their eyes just become brighter. Some people first go through 3 days of really integrating this shift, where they
Yeah.
experience fluctuations in their energy levels. Sometimes even memories come back from the moment that the point shifted. So
Yeah.
when people have gone through a very traumatic experience, for example, it can be that the point shifted to what we call the trauma location, which is one is located on your stomach and the other one is located in the neck,
Mhm.
which can cause that too much energy is going into the stomach, which can create digestive issues, a feeling of deep sadness,
Mhm.
depression. And with the point in the back, it can create that the world just feels heavy on your shoulders and like everything is too much. So when you
Mhm.
shift that back, people often directly feel more centered, more
Mhm.
grounded, and they just notice that they can release the sadness effortlessly because it had to do with where the location of the center point was.
Wow. That's truly amazing. Now, I heard that the both of you had released a program, a service that you had just came out yesterday. Can you tell me a little about that?
Sure, I'll drop in and then let Jemiah finish with this. So, part of my integrated ascension method is finding the very best technologies that there are and combining them to get the most effective and efficient results for our health, for our inner power, for our ascension of our consciousness, enlightenment, if you will,
Mhm.
using not only ancient technologies, but also modern technologies.
Right.
So, after my diagnosis, I was turned on to, I'm just going to call him, we call him the miracle engineer. He
Mhm.
is the most brilliant person that I've ever met. Of all the people that I've met, this guy takes the cake. And he's a biochemist of the highest order. And when my friend called me up, she told me, "Well, I got you, Nate." And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "We got you." And I'm like, "Okay, what are you talking about?" And she told me about this individual that he owns a company in Oklahoma, and he's been working with people with Alzheimer's. He's been working with people with cancer. I just watched a video the other day of a person getting a treatment from him and their congenital color blindness corrected. And they were able to see red and green during the treatment for the first time in their life. I mean, it's really amazing. It's like Star Trek type of medicine
Yeah.
where you just rant, rant, oh, you're fixed. And so I went out there to experience this. Well, the big long word is photobiomodulated plasma therapy or PPT. He's patented this. And what this has done for people, I'm not making medical claims and it's not a big cure-all, but I'm
Yeah.
telling you, the people that I've talked to, the testimonies that I've seen, my own results with this rock solid brain tumor going down by 50%.
Mhm.
Jemiah has had her own experience. I even took my mom to see him for the arthritis pain in her back, and her testimonial is on our new site, letting people know that even when Western medicine failed her after decades, she's able to walk pain-free. And real results. And so I have these experiences with this gentleman, and I created a deep connection with him. But then when Jamiah and I went together with my mom and had this all together, during this event, during this experience, Jamiah had a very powerful download that with what she does with the center point reset, with what I do with the Indonesian royal family system of breath work and inner power development and fitness and all the things that go with that, those two are like fire and rocket fuel.
Mm.
But what if we could bring in this other person to help people with chronic diseases?
Right.
Whether it's, Hashimoto's or heart disease or cancer or uh, Alzheimer's or so many other things. What if we could bring in somebody who knows how to restructure the body on a chemical level in a way that no one else in the world is doing and add in resetting the center point, helping people's cells, their energy, having their oxygenation of their body be top notch and just through the roof, and then bring in that and have all three of us? Well, this is where the Ascended Living program was born. It is truly Jemiah's brainchild and heart child and soul child
Yeah.
with a mission, since there are literally hundreds of millions of people with heart disease, with cancers, with diabetes, with all these different chronic diseases that are, I mean, like RFK Jr. talks about, it is an epidemic of epic proportions.
Yeah.
So to bring all three of these things together to help people in a way that no other package does.
Hmm.
My hats off to Jemiah for coming up with such a great idea. And we just launched our website yesterday, and we'll make sure to put that in the notes. And you can also find us, it's barely brand new, Ascended Living on Facebook, and we're just really getting this rolling, but we're here to help. We just work here. So we're here to help the other people who are working on the planet too.
I love that. I love that. Now, where can people find the both of you? So, is there two separate websites or two separate emails that you'd like to share, or is there you want to share the new website that you just launched?
Yes. Okay. So the very first, easiest way to get all of the information that's quick and easy to remember is to go to my personal site. And that's going to have the Ascended Living right there. You just click and you'll go right there. So if everybody can write this down, it's easy. It's Nate, Natez, like zebra,
Mhm.
360.com. And you'll have Ascended Living banner right there where you can just click right into it and see it mobile, desktop, tablet, everything. So natez360.com. The full website is, well, it's harder to remember than natez360.com, but it's iampure.energy/ascended living. So since everything is energy, iampure.energy/ascended living. And in the show notes, we'll actually have a couple different links. One is the Ascended Living site, so you can go right there. The other one is for a one-on-one center point reset with Jamiah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so people will be able to actually go and schedule a time on her calendar and actually be able to work with and receive a session from the master. And I'll just say, like she said, this is the moment where before it's who you were. From now on, it's who you are.
Love
And
it.
because it's that big of a shift.
Wow, that's truly amazing. Now, if we had to wrap it up and we had that you really wanted to emphasize on some important factors before we go, what are some important factors that the both of you would like the listeners to leave with?
Okay, I'm going to let Jamiah finish this off. I'm going to go first.
Okay.
I will say that even if you're facing a difficult diagnosis, please don't believe the prognosis.
Mhm.
There are so many alternative ways that the people in the white coats, they only know what's in their box. They don't know how to open it and find all those different things. Very rarely will you find people who are so ingrained in that educational model that they ever look outside into nutrition, into supplementation, into center point reset, into breath work, into biochemistry and biophysics. Do your research. There's a saying that I'm going to leave it with this. In the age of information, ignorance is a choice.
Sure.
And so, Jamaia?
Mhm. Wow, that's incredible, Nate. I love every word that you're sharing. It is so true. And in my life, I've dealt for a long time with health issues, and I really set my intentions very clearly on the outcome that I wanted. And that is what I truly recommend everybody to do. Focus on what you want, all of your energy, and the universe will start aligning things and bring you opportunities to give you the exact thing that you need. And a center point reset is truly the foundation for optimal health and well-being. So I would recommend for everybody to start with that.
Oh, I love that. I truly love that. This has been amazing. I really thank the two of you for coming on this show to share this. And I think this is going to be phenomenal. I'm so happy that you brought it out into the public's eyes so they know that this exists and that, they can contact you and they can, and Jemiah, you could help them with, resetting their center point and being able to actually heal themselves from any type of either emotional, physical, anything that they're going through, that you could help them so they could actually really live to their full potential. So I think what the two of you are doing is just phenomenal. Nate, I love you and I love everything that you do and everything that you've been through in life, like myself, you've overcome and you move forward and we don't give up. And that's what I like to emphasize to the listeners is that whatever you go through in life, don't give up. Don't, just stop or think about the negative. There is always a positive in that negative and pull out the positive and move forward. And like you said, don't always focus on what the doctor's diagnosis is. There are always alternatives out there that can help you. And many times I've improved my health by searching for that alternative and finding it. So I love the message that both of you put out today, and I thank you so much for sharing all of that on the show today. Thank you for your time, and thank you for everything that you do.
Have a
Mhm.
great day. Thank you so much, Stacey.
Thank you so much, Stacey. Have a wonderful day.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you. You too.